50, in fact, leading the charge. And oh my god, he got knocked out, didn't he? Breeze down. Kenny instantly with the USP one shot, and Jax to follow it up. Jax continuing, in fact. I think that push is dead and it's grounded. Like, there's nothing to come back from this. Kenny landing it again, and it's all going to be on Daps. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. Part of it, there was just no pressure anywhere. That hit was a little bit disconnected. Once Breeze goes down, especially when Kenny S gets that, 3 players from G2 are all focused on Ivy, where the main brunt of that attack is coming from, and they're able to shut it down with ease. Really good opening kill for Kenny, and a good pistol round for Kenny and Jax.
You'd really like to see that.
Yeah, that's like first...
Now they just need to hold on to it, which for this round should be fine, right? Surely no problems.
They should be fine this whole half. They have a really cool style on this CT side of Train. I really like kind of the way that they work their retakes, especially on that outer bomb side. I think G2 does a very good job of being able to get players in the proper position. Like I said, it's going to be that second half, that offensive side for the Frenchmen that you'll really start to see some of the deficiencies.
That grenade did 1 damage to 2 players, Moses. That was...
What are the odds of that? Here we go. Trying to run out upper. Getting taken down. A lot of presence at the center bomb site, and the rotations were very nearby as well. That's something we can watch out for also, because we saw in the NRG versus, I believe it was Cloud9 game on Train. NRG had a couple of those rounds where they just try and walk out upper ramp with no nades, just try and go for some kind of a contact play.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we like to see that kind of thing, but if it doesn't work, you should probably stop doing it, and it seemed like they didn't.
It's one of those. It is one of those plays that you call, and if it works, you're like, oh, that's really, really cool. But if it fails, you're like, these guys are kind of dumb.
Yeah, it feels like you should be doing it a little bit later in the game when it's like, you know, like some of the attention has been taken, some sort of pattern has already been established, and then suddenly you pull that out and everyone's like, oh, wait, there were no grenades, and suddenly we're dead. Like, if you're lucky in this position and somebody, I mean, he can obviously see them crossing, but if somebody walks out upper without any grenades, like you're down on the low ground of the bomb side there, that can be really lethal. I just feel like they did a lot in that game and not much happened. We're seeing a lot of SGs in play. Like, I feel like from, you know, sort of picking up a little bit the rate of it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's that Kenny that we all love.
Well, I know, I imagine Breeze like saw him jump across and was like, yeah, I don't think Kenny spotted me. I'm like over the top of the smoke. I don't think he knew where I was.
He knew.
Yeah, and he did. You were wrong.
Tarek, a little bit of a deeper smoke there, so he has a chance to peek into the bomb site and get a little bit of info. That's in itself is useful.
Gives him an angle to clear out some of the spots for his teammates coming down lower.
Yeah, absolutely right. 45 seconds, and they are pushing through down on the low ground. They're going to get the bomb down too, and Lucky's going to go down. Turk with the follow-up. Kenny landing a shot at least, and actually that's critical. If you didn't do that, that would be a problem. Now we do have a double flank coming in, and those are hard to deal with, because if you get this first guy, you might not realize there's going to be a second one. That's Daps gone down. I think he was flashed in, and his back turned as well. Tarek and Ethan, now the last one is left, and Ethan's going to be down, and what a great retake here. Kenny with the triple. I mean, you know, whenever I see this kind of start from Kenny, I just don't want to give my hopes up, Moses.
Get your hopes up, Anders.
But then there's another side to me that I just want it, you know?
Listen.
I need that.
Let your heart soar, Anders. Get into it.
Well,
if for no other reason other than the fact that it's going to be funny to me when you get crushed.
The heartbreak really sets in.
Yeah, that makes me very happy. That's another cool retake. Shock's on that flank coming down. He gets that first kill, Daps over at that first train, and then just continues down sidewalk. He helps clear out in kind of the advanced position. Ethan was pushed up in front of the bomb train to hold off his other teammate who was coming back, and that's a really smart play, especially when you consider so many resources are coming on the flank. Now a double nade, that one's going to miss, and they're already out for the flames. They're running through it. They put a smoke down, and this should still be a slaughter. Bombs on the floor. Shocks. Oh,
wow.
A little bit of style points coming in. The French came to play today, I think, Anders. I'm going to get my hopes up, and I don't usually do that for French teams. I
mean, if Shocks and Kenny are both going to be dialed in, I don't think this is going to work out for NRG. Like, I actually just still think Shocks could be like a top 3 player in the world. I know that sounds crazy.
It does sound a little bit crazy.
But I actually think
less crazy as someone who's seen him when he was at that level to begin with. Here's Jax pushing in, almost able to get a second. A weird little boost, and the AUG is just going to hold the angle. Amanek only gets 1. Trades across the board into this 3-on-3.
Yeah, this is a great trade situation for NRG. What's not great is the fact that Lucky's... Oh, they actually Molotov that up, so they are aware. That's a really heads-up played out of NRG. Wasn't expecting that, because he pushed very quickly behind them. So I thought that was going to beat the timing.
if you've done your research, if you're NRG coming into this train match, you'll have to realize that this G2 defense, they love flanks. They love putting players in positions, pushing towards Ivy, pushing towards Inner. Kenny with 2 kills in this 3-on-3. They're challenging. They're facing over towards Ivy with no utility. And Shox is going to get the final. Suffocating defense for G2.
Wow. 178 ADR on Shox, 10-0 at the moment. I mean, it is early on. But if you're playing against him, you don't want to see that.
No. And if you're NRG as well, you're probably thinking, why is it us who have caught the hot hand of Kenny and Shox in this match? Like, they haven't looked good all week, and here we are, rolling in and getting smashed.
I feel like G2 have looked not good in a really annoying way, where like you could see that they have some of the pieces to make this work.
Yeah,
and
the ideas are there.
Because there's one thing looking at a team where you're like, well, they don't even have they don't really have what it would take to make this work anyway. So then we don't have to get our hopes up, you know. I do feel like this G2 lineup. I don't know if this has to be the absolute final one. Oh, that's not bad at all. But I feel like I actually do like the people they have on this team. So we just want more out of them. Oh, turning around. Yeah, you totally understand. He just didn't see. He didn't know that there was a second player there.
Well, I think he was going to clear it out. I think he just was a little bit too far forward. That dink comes in before the flashbang even pops. So we talked about how good Kenny and Shox have been playing. Now they have a task at hand. Shox alone at the inner bomb site. Kenny is outside with the AWP. So these guys are going to have to pull this round back. And we'll see how G2 works themselves on this map to give themselves an opportunity to do that while also being safe if they want to save the weapons. Shox is pretty committed.
Yeah, he really is. But then again, when he's playing this kind of a game, I don't know. I don't want to underestimate him. He's by the spindles. They have one flashbang. He's going to turn around for that. Now he's just ready and waiting. And he's going to go for the spray. Takes down 2. Amanek is there with a headshot. And will follow up as well. This is beautiful. He's going to finish it off with a triple. And they crush that incoming push. No problem. He was turned around for a long time. Was he waiting for a second flashbang, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Might have been a team flash that he was turned for as well that Amanek was calling he would throw out there. Either way, he almost was a little bit late on turning around, but he handles it well. 5-on-3 for NRG, and they still lose the round. It was, you know, I guess an eco, a small buy with pistols. They didn't really have the rifles to take perfect advantage of it, but still.
You get that double opening, you feel like you should probably get something out of it. So
yes.
Right now, we'll see if they can find a solution here in the middle of the timeout. 6-0 is where things are currently at. And it seems like it's kind of it's like a start that's caught NRG completely off guard, it feels like. You know? Like, I'm glad that they took the timeout now. I feel like that's a smart move.
Well, we'll see what comes from it. Hopefully they've made adjustments. It looks like Cirque has that op, and he's going to go for the pick. He was boosted up in team mid, and he's found Kenny. Another round with an advantage for NRG. What can they do with it?
It's a great find to be getting Kenny out of the round. That AWP on CT side train takes up so much space, so
Amanek's got it now, so at least they still have the AWP in play.
Yeah, that's going to maybe help them out a little bit. He's down at Ivy as well. It could definitely be smoked off easily enough. And they're really defensive now on the B-bomb side.
He's pushing Ivy with an AWP. If he peeks all the way down, I don't know if he'll find a kill. There is an opportunity for it. I believe
Breeze.
That's Cirque. Is that Breeze?
Yeah, I think it's Breeze.
He's going to get caught. Yeah, he is. Just took too long. This has been NRG not really doing much since they got that opening pick. Everyone is concentrated around this dumpster here by T-Spawn as they kind of work their way through exactly what they want to call next. And Jack's now going to follow up that pick with a push, and he's going to shrink this map very fast.
I really like this brand of Counter-Strike that you two are playing here on the CT side. I really think it's exciting. They are not waiting around and not letting NRG sort of regroup and take the initiative back. They're trying to keep the pressure up on them. Now, the bomb should be going down here, but they're locked inside. Like, they're going to be on the bomb when it goes down. There's Cirque dropping. He wasn't ready for it with the AWP. He was looking the right way, but it was not enough. So now 4 versus 3. Bomb planted, but all of the T players are just kind of pinned in. Drop down from Shox. He's going to take care of Daps, and Tarek is next in line. And it's all on Ethan. He's been found out as well. They're all over it. Jax is going to be going down, but again, he had so many angles to cover. Going to be another round for G2.
I don't even know how you're supposed to defend that plant if you're NRG.
You can't. I don't think you can.
One player coming from team mid, one from ladder, one from the Ivy area with the AWP, and one from connector, and it's just... There's so many angles, and you could see NRG eventually. I mean, the only way they could have won that is if Daps wins that fight against Shox, dropping down ladder. That's the fight they had to win.
But I think even like when Cirque went down and they were sort of 4 versus 3, they didn't even, like, nobody killed each other out. Like, there was no chance.
They were pinned down. You could see it on the minimap. I mean, everyone was just playing behind trains because they couldn't move. They knew that AWP was at range, and when you don't have one yourself, such a disadvantaged peak. Shock's going to get in the ladder room, do good damage, going to force that part of the hit away. And NRG have lost on all fronts here in this early stage. They wanted to be aggressive. They wanted to get down ladder. Plenty of time for Amanek and Kenny to consider their options. You can see Amanek with this angle, with the AUG. He gives it up right at the correct moment. He was about to be in a fight. NRG, they still want to hit this outside bomb site. They're running out of utility.
Oh, Kenny gave up that angle. I think Tarek was just thinking about it now. He's back in line. Is it going to be the timing? He sees the feet. He definitely knows by now. Going to be calling that into Amanek, who's now, going to be covering that angle. Great communication out of G2. You could definitely see how that works. And now, 4 people on the bomb side here for G2, so they have a lot of presence, but NRG are getting very close to the bomb side, so this is a little bit worrying. If they just explode onto it now, there's going to be really minimal warning. Ethan, you can see him looking right on top, but Shox is going to be there. What a save, helping out Jax. And now they're slowing down a lot. Bomb, well, it's being planted on the other side, and they're going to be able to put it through. That's a good job.
No flank this time for G2 as well. This is going to be a pretty standard retake. You can see 3 players grouping up in these back lines. Amanek, I don't know if he realizes Daps is steering down this angle. He's completely blind. So is Daps. There it is. He comes clear. Vision opens up, and Daps has that kill. Now the retake continues as they move forward. It's Tarek against the angle, and Lucky's going to turn this corner, and now NRG's dropping the ball. They've lost sight of how to defend this bomb, but Breeze is still alive at Electric Box, and time dwindling. All that's left is the smoke diffuse, but the smoke misses. That is a fluff smoke, and now they just have to give it up.
Oh, it was caught by the corner, wasn't it? I bet he had to try and underhand that, because there was really not like an easy way to bounce it off of anything. And he underhanded a little bit too much, Moses.
It's okay. He's 16-0. He's preserved the deathless scoreline.
But that is actually really the important thing, isn't it? So, I'll be honest. Even if they had put the smoke down on top of the bomb, it's not clear to me that they would have won the round. So.
No, it still wasn't very likely, was it? That is a pretty tough opening round for NRG to win. That was a grind the whole way. They got countered and stopped by the initial utility usage from G2, and then it was just very slow going up to the bomb train. A lot of areas that could have gone wrong. So well managed from NRG. Now they need to build upon it. Jax has $0. Amanek is starting to run low, but there's still 1 to 2 more buys in this G2 defense.
There absolutely is. They've actually spent a lot of their grenades early on. Maybe expecting some sort of change of pace out of NRG. CT side down to, what, 3 smokes and a Molotov? So a little bit lower than I was expecting at, like, a minute and 15.
They might have expected some early pressure due to the fact that NRG's just won that round, opening a round up with fast pressure. Nice. Looks like, the inner hit. This is the contact play while they execute outside, and this one, it might work. They've actually done something to give themselves the space, to give themselves that first step in, and Daps has the entries. He's cracked